Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a fundamental topic that makes the difference between successfully building an agricultural project that allows you to truly live a more independent, free life, creating a project that actually works and creating an agricultural project that fails. In fact, the majority of business projects, and not just in agriculture, but let's stick to agriculture, fell within the first 3 years. And it's not because of drought, it's not because of pests, and it's not because of bureaucracy. It's hidden behind two fundamental points: mindset and sales or marketing. So we are going to talk about these things for a bit. Even if you think that maybe marketing is only for big companies, it doesn't apply to small projects. Or I don't want to be a marketer. Relax, take a second, because this is exactly where the wheels come off. Or as we say around here, where the donkey falls. Now, for those who don't know me, let me introduce myself quickly. I am Alessandro De Luca, co-founder of Rendita Agricola, and together with Valentina Ceretani, we founded Rendita Agricola, which today is a training company that has helped more than 3,000 people build their agricultural project. We have seen an enormous variety of different cases, and if there's one thing we have learned over the years, it is absolutely this. It's not the person who doesn't know how to grow crops who fails, it's the person who isn't mentally strong enough to pursue their goals and move past the nonsense you hear in the agricultural world. And it's the person who doesn't know how to sell what they grow. You can have the best saffron in the world, or the freshest microgreens, or the purest oil in the entire region or world or country, but if you don't have a system to reach the right people, you are working for nothing. You are throwing away time that no one will ever give back to you. Honestly, this makes me angry, because often it's the most genuine people that produce with care, who don't actually use chemicals, people who truly want to grow well and do grow well, who then find themselves selling below cost or not selling at all. This creates a huge problem in the market that is absolutely not okay. They sell at low prices, not because their product is worth less, let's be absolutely clear on that, but because no one ever explained to them how it really works. So let's start first with the point about mindset that I mentioned earlier. Many of you who want to work genuinely, who are looking for a healthier life in contact with nature, who want to create a solid project, etc., have the same fear, the same problem, a problem that can be solved. However, many of you are in a situation where you don't believe you can make it. In other words, you are the primary architects of your own failure. I want to explain a very important concept to you. You are the first ones who don't believe in yourself. And that is a massive problem, because for us, for example, for all those who want to rely on Rendita Agricola and follow a path together, we give you everything you need. There are training courses from A to Z, where it's not just theory explained on a whiteboard. There's theory, there's field practice, there are examples, everything you need from a training perspective. There is a community with thousands of people, other clients who may have the same problems you have, with whom you can collaborate, talk, exchange ideas, whatever you like. There are the Rendita Agricola coaches who follow you step by step and tell you, okay, for the next few months we need to do these and these, then we will focus on that. There are the marketing guys who help you build the logo, the brand, and the tools to sell. We create the sales strategies. In short, to keep it brief, once you join us, you have everything you need to overcome this problem and reach these goals. In any case, the first thing you absolutely must understand is that you can to succeed in building a successful agricultural project. This is one of the most important points for me to discuss, and it's one of the points that started Rendita Agricola. When we started, it was just me and Valentina, who is now my wife. We were basically 18 to 20 years old, and everyone told us we didn't have the physical strength to do certain things, that we didn't have enough land, and that we wouldn't basically be able to create and manage a successful farm. This happens to so many people. Rendita Agricola was born exactly to say, look, whoever you are, whether you have physical strength or not, whether you have a lot of land or not, if you want to do something in agriculture, we can help you to do it. Because agriculture offers a massive amount of potential, but the sector is obsessed with rules that aren't actually rules, but rather failing and wrong beliefs. That agriculture is only done with hectares, physical strength and all that stuff. It's not true. Agriculture can be accessible to anyone because it is broader than people think. And the potential is there for everyone. So the first and most important point I want you to focus on is understanding that you, whatever your situation, whether you have more time or less, more space or less, you have the possibility to build an agricultural project that gives you more freedom and independence, period. Okay? We aren't here just to help you with everything, but I absolutely want you to understand this concept. Many companies fail because they don't understand this concept. They don't understand that if you believe you can do it, of course it's not only that, but it's an important stone point. It's really important, it's fundamental. Okay? You have to start by being aware that yes, okay, whatever my situation is, I can do it. It doesn't matter. Forget what the local farmer says or the guy at the bar. I don't give a damn. Tell them to get lost. Excuse the language. It doesn't matter. Right? Leave it alone. You can build your agricultural project. Whether you are an entrepreneur or someone starting completely from scratch, it doesn't matter. You can build whatever you want. And this work on mindset, which we insist on so much within Rendita Agricola, is a fundamental point that no one had ever talked about before us in the agricultural sector. But having spoken to tens of thousands of people, we know it is a truly vital point to work on. Now let's move on to marketing and sales, but first let's clarify one thing. Marketing and sales might seem like the same thing, okay? But they are not the same thing. It's no coincidence they are two different words. And doing marketing means something I'm about to explain. Selling, on the other hand, is something else. We could see selling as the final moment, when the customer takes out their wallet and buys something. Marketing is everything that happens before and actually even after the sale. Alright, let me explain it better. Let's get into a bit more detail. Marketing is basically the process that takes a stranger, someone who doesn't know you, or doesn't trust you and doesn't even know you exist, and turns them into a customer, and then into a loyal customer. So if they bought your vegetables once, our marketing processes must ensure that this person comes back and continues to buy our vegetables every month. What does this mean? I've mentioned some very important words. Marketing is the process. Everything we build so that people know us, find us, trust us, understand what we do, understand who we are for specifically, understand what they can or cannot ask of us. Practical example. If you are there with your marketing process communicating something like, I only sell to people who want the best and aren't looking to save 20 cents like they do at the supermarket, etc., etc. Now I'm putting it simply. You won't find, or at least you won't have, people coming to you, maybe a tiny fraction by mistake of course, where the majority of your potential customers come and say, oh, but at the supermarket over there the stuff costs less. Well, then we haven't understood each other, okay? With the marketing process you avoid this kind of people. and you attract only the people who you really want. So the marketing process is what also educates your potential customer to understand what you do and to choose you. Doing a good marketing process means basically eliminating, not in a literal sense obviously, but getting out of our way, the people who don't want as a customer, or people we don't want to deal with, right? Because a good marketing process allows you to attract the target. In marketing words, the right people who show up at your door to ask for information about your product. It is vital to create a well-made marketing process and not do what people do when they open a farm. They call it, I don't know, farm name surname, or give it an invented name, which is all fine, no worries. But then they just say, I sell vegetables, good vegetables, or without chemicals, something like that, or natural vegetables. And they start posting pictures of vegetables or telling people they grow vegetables. You see, there is no marketing process here. There's nothing. So what does that mean? It means a bit of everyone will show up. You won't have decided beforehand by creating a well-made marketing process what your strengths are compared to competitors. You haven't decided what the important mission of your company is that you want to communicate. You haven't decided which problems you solve or which problems you cannot solve. Example, a problem I cannot solve is giving you vegetables at the absolute lowest price on the face of the earth. No, for that you go to the discount store where the scrap is. You don't come to me who sells high quality to a few people. It's completely different. Not creating a marketing process is a massive mistake. Marketing actually serves to build authority and ensure people can trust you. This is because people don't buy from those they don't know, okay? So, for example, you show who you are, you show how you work, you give value, and by giving value, I mean showing, for example, how to use part of vegetables that generally aren't used, or certain recipes, or how your service works and why your service is high quality, why you say your product is better than others, explaining that you do it with a particular method. Only then, when you truly show all these things and communicate them, will you make an offer. And here we get to the point of the sales. You will have people in front of you who respect you and trust you. This is clearly the difference between someone who chases customers with great effort and someone who builds a system that attracts customers constantly. Contrary to what many think, marketing isn't just running an ad on Instagram or having a logo or posting photos of the garden. Those are the small parts of marketing, so they are part of it, of course, but they need a strategy above. To explain it simply, advertising. Let me explain it practically and precisely so you understand these different once and for all. Advertising on its own, without strategy, is just an expense. What does that mean? Advertising in itself doesn't mean doing marketing. Let's say I want to advertise with a flyer, nothing too complicated. What do I write on this flyer? How do I position it? How should I speak in this flyer? What colors do I use? Where do I put it? What results do I expect? What do I track regarding this flyer? The answer to all these questions is marketing. It starts by deciding exactly which customers I want, the target audience. Oh, everyone who wants vegetables, you can think, if I sell vegetables. Everyone who wants to eat mushrooms. No, that's not enough. You can't do that because you are not doing marketing. Let's say you grow mushroom. You can't just make a flyer that say I grow mushrooms, farm name, naturally grown, call me at number XYZ. You won't get a good conversion. There's no marketing process. You need to say something like farm name produces mushrooms of the highest quality only for a few people who truly care about their health and aren't looking for the lowest cost mushrooms but prefer to spend even £2, euros, dollars more for high quality mushrooms grown naturally for them, delivered direct to their home, looks at the difference. On one side, there was a flyer saying, "I have mushrooms, come if you want, call me." Okay, interesting, maybe I will. On the other side, if a person wants to eat well and doesn't mind the cost, wow, here is someone honest and real who is making me understand, if I am in target, of course, as they say. If I am a person who truly wants to eat well and doesn't mind spending an extra 2 years for high quality mushrooms, then yes, I'll take action and call, because you have hit the mark. You spoke exactly to the type of person you want, okay? This is marketing. Knowing what to put in that flyer, etc. and then building an offer after the flyer. So what does the flyer mean? Call me. Okay, once people call me or come to the farm for my mushrooms or vegetables or whatever, what offer do I make? What do I say to them in those moments to take a step back? The advertising was choosing to make the flyer. Fine, but everything I choose to write in that flyer and everything that comes after is the entire marketing process, right? So let's connect the point. Selling is not just the moment of how much does it cost. Selling is a conversation. It's the moment when someone who has gotten to know you started to trust you and understands the value of what you produce, and they decide to buy. How you handle that conversation and the offers you make at that point of sale makes all the difference in the world. I imagine it's happened to you many times to hear someone say, "Oh, it's too expensive." Then people decide to lower the price. That is bad selling. That is not having a marketing process. That is not having offers. That is talking to the wrong target. It's not because you are wrong about the price that this happens, but because you didn't build enough value beforehand, okay? Like I said earlier, you didn't qualify the right potential customer for the services you offer. And relax, there are customers who want to spend a little bit more. They don't care, or their main goal isn't saving money on raw materials to bring to their family table. Absolutely not. By not working well beforehand, the customer compares your product with the supermarket one and you lose every time. When marketing has done its job, however, selling becomes much more natural. The customer arrives already convinced. You don't have to convince them from scratch. This misconception that you have to convince someone to buy. No, if the marketing process is done well, they arrive already knowing, and they just want a few details to confirm that you can help them with this or that, making them realize in the end that they choose well. Instead, someone arrives asking for saffron and you grow mushrooms. There is something in the marketing process that isn't working, and you end up saying, no, I don't do that. And the offer part is fundamental in the sales part. You never just sell, or at least I don't recommend it in 99.9% of cases. There are specific situations, but let's leave those aside. I never recommend saying, "Oh, okay, I have vegetables, go ahead, choose which one you want and tell me." No, it is much better to guide the customer. When we put them in front of a million things to choose, people already have too much on their minds. You too, right? We don't want to see, okay, the tomato, but how much is the tomato? X per kilo, then I choose the cucumbers, Y per kilo, so X plus Y, no, a little bit less of this. Then they start doing math to see how much it comes to. If they buy this or that, it's an incredible mess. What you should do instead is build ready-made offers. Look, I have the mixed for 10 euros, the mixed crate for 20 euros, and the mixed crate for 30 euros. These are the differences. These are the products inside. If there's something you don't like, it can be replaced. Otherwise, they take one of these three offers, and we have made life much easier for the customer. And we have also definitely increased the average transaction value, because it's happened more than once that people selling from a catalog, like that, with prices per kilo, choose what you want. And you see people buy 2 euros or 3 euros or pounds or dollars or 5 euros worth of stuff more often than you think. But how can you have customers you sell 2 euros worth of lettuce and tomatoes to? The business model can't work if you are a small or medium enterprise selling 2 euros of lettuce per person. Calculate how many people you need to make 2,000 euros a month if they buy 4 euros a month of stuff. Try to do the math and see how many customers are needed. Also because margins get squeezed since it takes time. It's the same time to prepare 4 euros of tomatoes as it does a 15 euros crate mix. These are extremely important sales concepts. Beside these, I want to tell you that if you have the belief that selling is dishonest or that marketing is meant to rip people off, you must get rid of that now. It's a much more common belief than you would think. But know that it is costing you money. More importantly, it prevents you from building something serious and therefore it's costing you your freedom and independence. Selling is only wrong when you sell junk or when you deceive. But if you sell real food, healthy products and respect for the land, you are literally improving your customers' lives and having a massive impact on the world. If you as a company earn as much as possible, it's better for everyone. To put it practically, if you sell high quality stuff, the more successful your company is, the more successful the positive impact on the world is. So selling is absolutely not a dishonest act. It is a service. In your case, marketing is an ethical tool. In fact, not doing it becomes the real problem. This is what I said at the beginning. Many times people, maybe those who follow our content, our customers, are all genuine people who want to do something truly sustainable. For people like you, not knowing how to sell your products or not being successful is a shame for the whole world. So you really have to convince yourself. No, I am selling, I will sell. It's much simpler than people think. You just need to learn a few things. You don't have to become some incredible salesman or a mega galactic entrepreneur. It's not that stuff, okay? You will see that instead selling your products will bring you a lot of satisfaction because you know you are contributing to a better world. And it's true, because we work in the primary sector, which is fundamental. I know all of these might seem complex if you are at the beginning, and I perfectly understand the doubts spinning in your head. But how do I really differentiate myself? Who will want to buy from me instead of the supermarket? Why should they choose me? How do I understand the right price without going out of the market? Legitimate questions. But remember, you don't have to have all the answer today. For today, I want you to understand that marketing and sales are skills that are learned. Just like you learned how to garden, how to ride a bike, etc. Mindset is a fundamental part of all these, both linked to marketing, sales, as we have seen, but also in believing that we ourselves are capable of reaching the goals we set. This has always been the biggest reason for my entrepreneurial success. If I have created a farm today that has always worked well from the start, if I created Rendita Agricola, which has expanded even into the English-speaking market, if we have a lot of people working for us, like 50 people or more or less, and we are having a massive impact. And I started from a village of 200 people. Guys, do you know what guided me? I was born to a father who was an employee earning 1,400 euros per month and a stay-at-home mom, okay? I didn't come from any wealthy family. I didn't have any leg up or anything like that, but I made it. Why? Because I had always been convinced that whatever goal I set for myself, if I decide to reach it, I will. No matter what happens, it doesn't matter. And that makes a huge difference for me. Now, clearly, I aimed for high levels, so this requires it in a very strong way. You might say, but I just want to make a farm, earn 1,000 euros or 2,000 euros per month, or live a bit more independently. Start working on it and you will reach that goal. I'm reminded of one of our clients who started with zero knowledge and very little time because they have a public sector job, etc., with many hours working from morning to night, almost every day, even on call. So, not much time available, zero agricultural knowledge or background. Why is it that within a year there is a company making more than 2,000 euros a month? Today they have even decided to undertake a broader coaching path with us to scale this company even further. And they started by saying, I want to make a second income. Now, why am I telling you this? Because this person, for example, who had bought a lot of consultation at the beginning because they didn't even know where to start, basically had one thing clear. I will listen to what you tell me, I will apply it, put it into practice, and I will reach my results. If there are difficulties, I'll just overcome them. That's it. It was in their minds. They didn't spend too much time questioning. Can I do it? Can't I do it? Of course you can, guys. Of course you can. If you listen and decide to commit, you learn how to position yourself, you learn how to communicate, you learn how to build an offer that people desire. When you have these skills, everything changes. You stop hoping someone will pass by chance to buy, and you start building a solid system, a business that works for you, that protects your lifestyle. Because in the end, that is the goal, to ensure your passion for the land and attachment to nature is sustainable over time and not a continuous sacrifice, okay? So guys, please subscribe to the channel, check all the links in the descriptions, like the video, do all those things. And in the description there are various free resources we have prepared for you to dive deeper into not just marketing but many other fundamental aspects to get your project off the ground or take it to the next level. Take a look because there is a lot of material and I would certainly like to hear your opinion. So if you want, write a comment below. What is your current situation? Do you already have a product but struggle to sell it? Do you have doubts regarding mindset? Are you still in the planning phase? In short, tell me about your dream related to the land. I'll read it and I'll give you a response. Thanks for staying until the end.